Did you reach a dead end on your LinkedIn prospecting? In this episode, I'm going to show you exactly how to overcome it.
Gladiator in this art of war. What you think that I've been fighting for? Got a cape on like a superhero. They rushing at me like a matador. Nah, I don't need your energy. I don't need the negativity. I'm just trying to bring my people up. Promise y'all I got the remedy. Straight to the roof, tell them we bringing the troops. We got a little surprise, you thinking that we ain't the truth. We give it 120, we never make an excuse. So go run and tell everybody doubting that we coming for you.
What's up guys, Kyle Milan here, and whether you are listening to this on the podcast or watching the videos on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you know exactly when we share new content every week, and share it with one person that you know. All right, let's talk about LinkedIn prospecting. You know I'm extremely bullish with this. I think LinkedIn is the greatest thing out there for B2B companies, especially the industrial side. But a lot of people can run into roadblocks where they're prospecting and they're trying to grow their network and they hit a cap, they hit a ceiling, they don't get responses, things like that. So I'm gonna break down the steps that you need to take on a weekly basis to overcome this roadblock that you're facing. So before we go into step one, I'm gonna just say this piece. So I was on a call with one of our clients and their sales team was not doing exactly what they should be doing on LinkedIn. So we built out this strategy that we use for a lot of different clients and what I recommend. So I wanted to share with you guys to show you exactly what we tell people to do that are clients on how to overcome these roadblocks. Step number one is going to be send out 100 connection requests per week. Now LinkedIn's been playing around with the algorithm the summer of 2021 where we're at now. Maybe when you're listening to this or watching it, they've loosened up a little bit, but right now it's either 50 or 100 connection requests you can send per week. Does not matter if you've got 10,000 followers and connections or 100. They're playing around with it to try and increase the quality of people's networks so people aren't just spamming everybody trying to get as many connections as possible. So for right now, if the ceiling is at 100 or if it's at 50, you need to reach that ceiling every single week. You can still build out your network. Now, how you go about doing that, you need to be more strategic because they did put limitations in place. You should have already been being strategic about going after potential people that you could provide value to and potential people that you can sell to. But now, instead of sending out 50 connection requests or 100 in one day to one company, you need to spread that out and maybe change the job function, job titles, industries, company size, things like that. So you're getting a little bit more of a mix on a weekly basis. Or you can be strategic about how you're sending it to and break it down from a weekly basis. Like this week, I'm gonna go after industrial. This week, I'm gonna go after medical device. This other week, and just plan it out. Even if it's in a notebook, spreadsheet, whatever it is, just put some strategy behind who are you going after and what week so you can try and organize it. Now, when you're sending out these connection requests, you do not have to spend a ton of time in writing all these big, long, personalized things saying that I saw this stuff or we think we can help you here. It just needs to be basic and to the point. The number one gripe that I hear from salespeople is that this takes too much time. And if they're saying that, then they're probably lazy and this isn't gonna work out anyways. But to try and make it less cumbersome for them to do, just create a simple message where it's like, hey, we produce content or we're in your industry or we have some valuable stuff that we share every day that I wanted to connect with you and have you in my network so you can see it. You're not trying to sell them at this point. You're just saying that I value you in my network because we share things that might be of interest to you. However you want to word that, but just have that as a basic connection request send. And you don't have to use the first name. If the best case scenario is you say something like, hey, John, and then say your message of 2 sentences, look forward to connecting Kyle, whatever it is. But if you want to do this from an efficiency standpoint and you're not using any sort of automation, then doing something like just saying, hey, we produce a lot of content in your industry. We support your industry in a lot of different ways. And I think that you will get some value out of the content that I share on a daily basis. I look forward to connecting. Copy and paste that, send it out 100 times a week. If you want to break it down to 20 a day, that's perfectly fine. But there's no excuse why you can't be doing 100 of those a week or 50 of those a week. So step one, continue to build out your network. Step two is going to be like and share company page content. Somebody created the content for your company page, whether it's an internal employee or an agency like ours. The work's already done. You just need to like or share that. Now, I've talked about the algorithm in other videos on which one matters most. A share is worth more points to the algorithm than a like, but at a minimum, just like the company page content every single day. This is how you get your brand out in front of your new network connections that you have. whether it's 500, 1,500, or 5,000, you need to like it every single day. It literally takes 5 to 10 seconds to find your company page content and like it, or if you're following your company page, you might just see it in your feed and like it from there. Step number 3 is gonna be engage with your network for 30 minutes a day. So if you break down the connection requests to 20 per day and you're spending 30 minutes engaging with your network, you're probably looking at a total right now of about 45 minutes a day devoting to this LinkedIn strategy. So engaging with your network goes back to the fact that most likely the people that you're trying to sell to do not get a ton of engagement on their posts. So writing a comment, saying something valuable back to whatever it is that they posted, hitting the like button to the people you're trying to connect with, they get notified instantly just like you do, and they see that you're liking and engaging on your content. They are then going to look at your profile and they're going to see what it is that you do. The more times you do that, the more valuable of a connection you're gonna have with them. And then when you do reach out in some of the later steps and send out a message saying, hey, let's chat, they're gonna be more likely to respond back than if you've never engaged with them at all. Nobody wants to connect with somebody and then just be sold to. It's all about building those connections and relationships, engage with their content for 30 minutes a day, like, comment, share, anything like that. But it's extremely important that you engage with the network. You don't wanna just be this person that's on the sideline reading the stuff but not engaging. At least hit the like button, the love button, support, whatever thing you want to put to it. But 30 minutes a day to engage in the network is extremely powerful. The 4th step is going to be sending one piece of content that your company has created to 75 people per day. This does not need to be an extremely lengthy message. It needs to just be as simple as, hey, we created this content and I thought you might get some value out of it. At least you'll get some entertainment, have a great rest of your week, and then just put your first name or your first and last name. Or we wrote these 2 articles and I thought that you would get some value out of it, or someone that you might know would get some value out of it. Take a look, let me know what you think. Have a great rest of your week. The link needs to go to the website where the article is hosted and published, and you need to send it out to 75 people per day. And you're gonna say, oh my God, this time's adding up. Do the same thing with connection requests. You don't need to say, hey John, hey Steve, hey Susie, hey Brenda, like check out this article. Just say, we just wrote this article, we just published this article. 2 or 3 sentences with a link, with your name at the bottom, copy and paste. Find 75 people per day that you need to send it to. Each person, you can just build out a quick list if you're using Sales Navigator and go through one by one. If you're using LinkedIn Native, then it's gonna be a little bit more difficult, but do a search, filter it down to people, and then just look at those people and start clicking through and sending it. It should only take you about, worst case scenario, you're talking like 30 seconds per message sent. Absolute worst case, 1 minute. So 75 minutes at the high end, maybe 35 minutes, 37 minutes, 40 minutes at the low end. So now we're at 45 minutes plus 40 to 75 minutes. So you're like at an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours of time that you've spent so far every single day on LinkedIn. But it's going to be worth it because this just works. We wouldn't produce so much content about LinkedIn if it didn't work, because people wouldn't be eating this stuff up and then coming back and saying, oh my God, I've gotten so many opportunities from LinkedIn, or this stuff works, or great job, and all the likes and all the stuff that we get from it. This stuff works. Now you're looking at an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours max so far in the process that you're gonna spend it on LinkedIn. The 5th step is going to be about 3 weeks later, maybe even 4 weeks later, to those people that you've sent the content to, the articles, I want you to do the same thing, but just ask them, this is like a warm message, ask them if they have any need for what it is that you sell. You're gonna do this 75 times per day. Now you may say, I only have a network of 300. Okay, we'll scale it back then to where you get through half of them in a week. Maybe you're doing 25 a day. But for most people that have a network of 500 to 1,000, you're gonna be doing 75 per day. And all I want you to do is say, hey, just wanna see if you can spend a quick 20 minutes on a chat to see if what it is that we do could be of use, or if you have a need for this, or our product can save you this much time, or increase your efficiency. Do not go into any lengthy things. This is not paragraphs of content. This is 2 to 3 sentences. You're asking them for 20 minutes. You're keeping it brief. You do not need to attach anything to it saying, take a look at my 1-page line card or my sell sheet or my value prop. Very simple, to the point. Hey, we've noticed that we can do this with people in your industry, and our product or our service does this. If you have a need, are you open to a 20-minute call with a question mark, and that's it. You can say there's a link to my calendar below, book time. That's a little bit more impersonal because people are gonna know that you're just bulk sending this out. But you wanna do this 75 times a day. You've created the content, you're engaging with people, you're building out your network, you're sending them the content a couple weeks previous. Now you can go in for the warm call and just ask them, hey, are you open to having a conversation? Not 45 minutes, not an hour, not a full presentation, just quick 20-minute call, 15-minute call, 10-minute call, whatever it is. Just ask them for that. You'd be shocked at how many people will come back and say, yeah, I am open, or yeah, let's talk in 2 weeks, or here's my email, send me some times, things like that. It works every single time. The sixth step is going to be you have to record this content somewhere. So if you have a CRM, then that's great, and you can export some of your contacts into it and just go through and say, these are the people that I'm reaching out to. If you don't have a CRM and you're creating a spreadsheet, one hack is go into your profile settings, export your connections and all of the information. It'll come with like 57 spreadsheets. Pick the one that says connections, and you've got all your first name, last name. Sometimes people have email, but you've got the relevant information on a spreadsheet. So you got 500 connections, there's 500 rows of people, and you can just start to filter this and add columns saying, sent article, and then just put a Y or a no to it. Sent warm message, a Y or a no, because then you can filter for yeses and nos as you're doing this and know who you didn't send stuff to. So very rudimentary and very basic, but you need to control and contain this data somehow so that way you understand your outreach, you understand who you're talking to, who you're trying to talk to, and you can start to track and measure your performance. You may see that you can't do 75 a day, you can only do 50 messages a day, or you can only do 55 connection requests a day instead of 100. But once you start to see that this is working and these are some notes in a notes column that says that this person then moved into a conversation, this person is being qualified, you'll start to put more and more effort into the first steps of the program because you'll see that this stuff actually works. So the sixth step is going to be organize your data, record your efforts, and then you can use this to present to management, ownership, and also look at your own personal KPIs. The seventh step and most important is going to be consistent. This is not a turn it on, turn it off type of thing. You have to start this and finish it. Do it for a month. If you dedicate 30 days to it, I promise that you will get results. You'll understand the cadence that you can keep up with, and you will start to have opportunities coming into your pipeline. But you have to be consistent. You cannot do it for a day and then forget and then come back to it a week later or 3 days later or anything like that. You have to do it every single day. Devote 30 days to this, and I promise you it'll be worth it, because consistency and persistency is what is going to make the difference between you building out your pipeline and having opportunities and then just sitting in the sales meetings and complaining to everybody that this stuff doesn't work. So those are my 7 steps with how to overcome the roadblocks in prospecting on LinkedIn. If you got value out of this content, share it with one person you know. Hopefully you've already hit the subscribe button and you turned on notifications so you continue to get notified when we produce this content. And that's it for today, and we will see you on the next one.